How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Digimon Ghost Game episode review. Not really much of a recap, but we'll get to that in 1 minute. It's episode 61, everybody. Title it's called Resurrection. Before I go any further, Stitch and I would like to ask you to please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this. Make sure you leave us a little comment down below because we surely enjoy those. So, I left this episode feeling genuinely conflicted. Not complaining because, my normal complaints are always about, why you guys let these Digimon get away with it? Why is the plot so ooh? And a complaint that I have had in the past that many have agreed with me. I don't even know if I can call it a complaint. I'll call it a complaint and a critique. And it's that they don't do two-parters in this series. It's always a monster of the week, which is why, I feel like they're copying a show like Yokai Watch, right? Where, and I hate, I don't hate to, but I'm gonna, again, put more pressure on the showrunners. You should have never had that Digifesta or Digimon Fest where you said some of that silly things like we want our Digimon to have autonomy and we figure we do this and this. The premise of having a show based on urban legends and ghost stories and things like that is fantastic. There are episodes in this series that are so good, and then you have episodes like this one where in the very beginning I'm like, ooh, I love where this is going. This is getting good. But then you get to a point where things that are supposed to make sense for the Digimon world don't make sense anymore. Or you start breaking rules and you do things to the point where it's like, why would you do it? Like the whole problem with Digimon Ghost Game as a whole, not just the lack of plot, not just, oh man, we got these kids that for some reason they're super smart, but then other times they act really dumb where it's like, oh man, do we really have to kill the thing that's killing everybody? Or, oh man, is it Digimon? I mean, come on, man. But the biggest thing is that this show has tons of dropped potential. And I contemplated going through and doing, instead of doing my normal play-by-play, I might just do a quick synopsis and just talk, because I really just want to talk. Plus, it's my birthday Tuesday. I need to do something that I want to do. But let's skip everything. I was going to skip everything and show you the Digimon. Let's talk first. So, young lady, her name is Manami. Work at a research lab with her fiancé and other people. Computer explodes. Boom. It's like a bullet. And the look on her face is like small pupils, falls to the ground, like crash into the wall, falls to the ground. There's no doubt about it. She is dead. It's not the old anime switcheroo where it's like they pass out with their eyes open. No, she's dead. They even have a funeral for her. She's gonna be married to her fiance soon. I think his name's his sister's name is Ko Toha. I think his name is Toru. He is distraught, completely distraught. Now his little sister kind of looks like her. They have black hair, but that's neither here nor there. They say that her body was so mangled they couldn't even have an open casket. The body didn't look mangled. It's just he couldn't do it, right? And so one night, little sister can't sleep. She gets up, gets water. The dead fiance, she's walking down the halls with a creepy smile and everything. Instant. This is one of the good parts. She already got the Ghost Gang crew there. Pulls them in. One by one, we have the Digimon appearing, talking about, we're holograms, blah, 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 that old lie. And you have Hiro is rightfully frightened. You can't even call him Shaggy on this one, because you're hearing a thing about, sorry about that ding, you hear a thing about an animated body coming back to life. He's every right to be afraid, and given who the villain was in this, my goodness, I could have not guessed it at all. And that's one of the, that's one of the things I do like. I like when you do previews, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. So she calls him like, yeah, this body moves. She's actually dead. They test it. They feel her pulse. They look at her skin. It's like, she really been dead for 10 days? Because she don't look like it. Like, yeah, she is. And this is what's going on. And so, meanwhile, so the boys are watching the body. When I mean everybody's there, I mean SBMon is there. All their Digimon is there. The boys are watching the body. The body moves at night. The girls with Angramon, because Angramon's going to watch over Ruli, they're in the kitchen. All of a sudden, there's these voices going around. It shakes the room and stuff falls. And she's like, I can't take it anymore. It's those voices again. Meanwhile, you have Jellymon doing her same thing. Like, oh man, this place is pretty big. I can have a business. Jellymon, not the time for that. Gammamon needs to pee. So Hiro's running down the hall. Black mass on the ceiling, hundreds of orange eyes. The one that it was this guy here, Sumemon. Sumemon should look unbelievably familiar because this is the baby form of a Digimon that we have seen. First time showed up was in our war game from the original Digimon season 1, Digimon Adventure 01, ultimately turning into one of my favorite Digimon. Everybody loves this villain. This is Diaboromon. Of course, this thing doesn't want to stay. Diaboromon, 100%. But here's the other thing, though. I thought to myself, this could have been I think it's not called Evilmon. It's a giant. It might be Daemon. The giant one is just one big giant eye that the reboot 2020 gang had a hard time battling at the Tree of Knowledge. Oh, and also the thing turns into this Armageddon. Just whoop. Yeah. The movie from the Adventure 02 guys, where this thing apparently is so strong that Omnimon, Omegamon can't handle it. It's annoying when you do power creep like that to show that the new people are stronger. But this is a baby Digimon that further evolved from Kuramon. The tips of this tentacles are claw shaped, and its ferocity has also increased. It consumes data at terrifying speed, causing the network to go haywire. Not only that, once it evolves into Sumemon, it becomes even more difficult to capture due to the fast movement. This thing is adorable. I can honestly see myself actually having this. If I had this as a Digimon partner, much like another cool guy in Digimon Cyber Sleuth, that guy had Diaboromon, his partner. It's, even though it's supposed to be evil, it's not always evil. But I'm gonna continue. Again, it's not play-by-play. So Hiro is asleep, and everyone, everyone's like, "How is he asleep when he's too afraid?" She's like, well, he watches anime all day. Jellymon's like, watch anime all day. He has a nightmare about all these, just hundreds of Digimon sitting on the roof. And I'm thinking to myself, what Digimon is plaguing this? Because my mind is already going. I didn't think about that guy, right? I didn't think about that. I thought about the giant Daemon with the big eye. And it's just like, I'm thinking like, ooh, they're going to have to deal with a Demon Lord. That's crazy. He wakes up. He's like, oh, it's a nightmare. Kotoha comes in. Is like, yeah, I have nightmares too. Ever since the body's been here. Ever since my big brother brought her body here, I've been having these dreams. I'm like, oh, he brought the body there. So let's fast forward. She's like, it moves at the same time every day. So every night. So everyone's hiding. Brother comes home. Like, oh, I forgot the Japanese phrasing for I'm home. I know it's not Toton. Is it Tomeda? I forget the phrase. I'm sorry, everybody. But he comes home. The body creaks open. Eyes start small. Pupils get the little tiny pupil. I'm talking Merrick versus Yugi tiny pupil level of smallness. This thing gets up. It's repeating. where he says it's kind of talking. He's talking, has some champagne while they're watching TV, talking about the research and everything. She was doing research into dimensional rifts. That's important. So while they embrace and she looks like she's reaching for him, little sister knows blue lines across his neck, and she comes out and is like, bro, she's dead. Just flat out, she's dead. No, she can't be dead. She's moving. And I'm like, oh, he's that special brand of dumb Japanese character in an anime that goes, oh, this person died, but I have so much grief that I think that this animated corpse is the same person, given that you don't notice that her eyes have been pretty weird and she's been creaking. Okay, all right, dude. She noticed. She's like, oh, Tomodachi. She knows the other people there. And they come in. He's like, yo, man, what is going on? So and the reason why sister jumped in, she rakes her nails across his back. More blue lines coming. She's draining his life force. Attacks the stupid thing. She attacks the sister. Takes her life force. Weird noise she makes is kek, 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 kek. I'm like, what type of thing are you guys fighting? All of a sudden, the Sumemimon are around them, cluster above orange eyes, and outside the window is a Digimon that, for whatever reason, in English, I guess they think that children can't handle the word evil. This is Evilmon, aka Vilemon in the West. Very ugly thing. It showed up in Digimon Adventure 01. You know, it's a trooper. It's a champion level trooper Digimon. It's a foot soldier, right? But it's responsible for nightmares. Small devil Digimon, champion level, right? Small devil, virus type. Small devil Digimon that abhors losing. For the reason is a coward that torments the weak. For that reason is a coward that torments the weak with pricks without getting into dire combat. It seems it's credited being the source of dark species Digimon that inhabit the dark area, but there are still many mysteries. A special move is subjecting you to a nightmare that you can't wake up from by using supersonic wave that emits from his mouth. Angramon, I should say, is instantly going, okay, something inside of her has drawn these dark kind of Digimon here. That body's going crazy. Grabs Kirishiro, drains him of his life force. Here's where we're going. Little did I know this was the catalyst of it going downhill. But at the same time, I didn't pay attention to it until this happened. She goes up into the sky. Darkness forms around her. A crystal pops out. And I go, oh my goodness. Didn't say goodness. I did say Lord. But oh my goodness. The Digimon that becomes her, that comes out of her, is the boss. One of the main, the main boss of the reboot of Digimon Adventure 2020. The main boss. Now, Digimon Adventure 2020 had several bosses. The Devimon, which turned to Omega. You had, Arcadimon. The big green one that we met in the very, very beginning that ends up being a foot soldier for the Digimon that deletes everything. This is the main reason for the story. This is Zed Millenniumon. Now, you probably remember, you're saying, hey, Shane, I remember you reviewing this. What's that, Stitch? Yeah, even Stitch said I did review it too. This is a massive Digimon. As a matter of fact, in the reboot, thousands of years ago, this form popped up. The form that's the weaker form of this. This is a mega level Digimon. Wicked God, virus type. Flying freely between space and time, it is a king of evil. It is a king of evil that is still trying to destroy all eras and worlds. Although a Digimon will become a Digitama if defeated in battle, there are very rare occasions where it has instead been reborn from within the corpse of its data. This thing can be born out of the data of corpses. And everybody's thought, oh, when she died, this thing came out of it. Because we did see a flashback of Toru at the morgue, digital lines popping up, and then she awakens. Oh boy. According to one theory, when Millenniumon died in a furious battle, the Dark Soul it possessed was reborn as Zed Millenniumon. Also, Also, as for the bands which wrap around Zed Millennium, it's said that they are like chains which suppress his abilities, but it's unknown who could cast such a spell on this Digimon. However, it's foretold that if it was released from the spell, it would rain unfathomable destruction upon the digital world. Its special move, Time Destroyer, which co-signs hostile opponents to oblivion, also across time and space. So far, no one has been brushed off by this technique. Will return alive from the time and space trip. They warp evolve. And by they, just the boys. They warp evolve. They try to handle it. Even SPMon tries to battle. This thing does flames that burn his little butt. And it's going to go after the kids, right? Now, Hiro double clicks for them to go into the digital upside down cloud-ish area because Angramon says, yo, this thing in the human world can destroy everything. I'm not gonna let that happen. Unfortunately, everybody that was drained by it also shows up. Well, it's gonna try to get Ruli, and Hiro figures out, they're giving the attacks because they're attacking it. It's just not doing anything. Thing has fire, has earth, has ice moves. They go for it. They block its massive hands, this ginormous hands. Lemormon, eyes glow. The glow also applies to Weissmon because they warped into that. They go into their mega forms. They are able to handle it. Okay, they're able to do it. And before Hiro can, Seriousmon goes, Hiro. So it's they always call names in anime to do the final move. Before he does, a voice comes out. It's the voice of the girl that died. And the guy hears it. He's like, her voice is coming from that monster. And she's like, look. She has to be the one telling him. She's like, basically, baby, listen. When I was doing my research on time lapses. And by the way, Zed Millenniumon has done the spirit bomb pose. Big spears coming from the top, and everything around is starting to be destroyed. We saw this in Digimon Adventure Reboot. So she's talking to everybody, going, hey, so what happened? I was doing research, but through the computer, Moon Millenniumon, which is the crystal form of this thing, jettisoned from there, hit her in her body. And he's like, and you lived. No, I died. No, I am 100% dead. But when it drained enough living energy to become Zed Millenniumon, my consciousness awakened. It's been draining you this whole entire time. It used my memories to get close to you and to fool you and to do all this. And he's like, but no, you moved. And she's like, my love, I got it. You have to accept the fact that I am gone. And Kirishiro, who's up, looking all pruny, like he's been dunked in water for too long, basically just confirms it, like, okay, it awakened, but her consciousness is not enough to bring her back. And she's saying, hey, I'm able to know what it really wants because I'm inside of it. It wants to destroy everything for the first time, because we didn't get this in Adventure Reboot, because Adventure Reboot, a lot of the Digimon they fought didn't have voices. We get the voice for this thing. It's going time. She says, look, I'm technically really not a part of it. So aim for me. I am its only weakness. The kids come to a resolve. They're like, all right, we got to do it. They launch their big attacks, the cool bunny energy tridents and whatever move, the slice and dice shooter for Seriousmon. And guys like, you can't do this. And of course, Jellymon has to restrain him. Destroyer. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. Their aim is true. They hit. They kill. Destroy it. That makes all the other evil Digimon fly away. Well, literally evil / Viamon flies away. And everything else happens. The dude goes back to the real world. Everybody goes back to the real world. He's mourning her all over again. It's so sad because he told his little sister don't tell his parents that she died, because he didn't think she was actually dead. And then we get Gamma going, Hiro, Mana went on a trip, and he's like, yeah, buddy. No talking at the end. Sad, it ends. So, Next episode, keyholes or something. I don't care. Don't know who the Digimon is. Here is the problem. So this is why I did it this way, as opposed to giving you a play-by-play, give you a synopsis like that. Because I love going into detail, but because the details, I love the little details. I love all that stuff. But the reason why I did it this way is because this is what the problem is. You couldn't have all three Mega Digimon fight this world-ending threat. Not town-ending. Not countryside-ending. Not a monster that's going around killing folks. This thing's going to try to destroy the entire world and universe. And you thought, hey, wouldn't it be funny if the thing absorbs Kirishiro's energy? that means Jellymon can't fight. That means we won't have 3 Mega Digimon. We had a chance to have all 3 Megas, but we chose to not do it because we're suck at writing. We suck at these situations. Because now, when you have all 3 Mega Digimon, and if you do it when we get to the more of the Black Digimon stuff, it's going to be really stupid. Also, a stupid thing is they wonder what to do with the Moon Millennium Crystal because they killed it, but it falls back asleep in here. It goes tiny. Here's like, oh, I'll keep it. What if it pops up again? Oh, guys, we'll handle it. In that Goku-like voice. His thing was green. Black Gatomon was there. Black Tailmon was there. And just goes, I'll let him keep it. No. This is a world-ending thing. You take it the hell back where it belongs. Again, if they fight Black Dukemon, Black Gallantmon, Black War Greymon, who is actually a legitimate threat. Those are legitimate threats. But, guys, it took for Z Millenniumon the first time, after it killed all the friends and they had to try to save them, you needed War Greymon and Metal Garurumon to fuse into Omni/Omegamon to chop off a head just for Serafimon and Ophanimon to destroy it. And then when this thing comes back, everybody thought Tai was dead. You get God Dramon and Holy Dramon. You need alternate Mega Holy Angel God Digimon to fight it. Unfortunately, the thing becomes Super Max. This is Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann levels of massive, and it's going to destroy everything. So you have to have War Greymon appear with the power of love and hope and light, and it's not a Gaia Destroyer, it is a freaking Spirit Bomb. You have to break the rules just to beat this thing. And you mean to tell me that the consciousness of a woman that this thing killed has weakened it enough that these 2 Digimon that have a serious mind has gone Mega 3 times now. Darbitmon, the best one out of the group, honestly, it's gone Mega twice now, and you couldn't use the other Mega that you just got last weekend because for some reason we have to cripple Kirishiro. We can never get 2 people functioning at the same time. Don't tell me it's to set up for when it actually happens, because there's no greater threat than a world ender. Everything else we've had has been like, oh, we're going to take over the world, or we're going to take over this town, we're going to take over the city. No, this is a world ender here. And what kills me, this could have been a 2-parter, much like My Oldest Mine could have been a 2-parter. This and the My Oldest Mine one sticks out of my mind as something that could have been 2 parts because of how significant those Digimon are. Instead of doing your Monster of the Week thing, and you know what, all the Digimon shows have done Monster of the Week, so it's not fair for me to compare it to Yokai Watch, but they don't do Monster of the Week when it's like something that's like legitimate. Like, I love the 2020 reboot because of the sheer amount of bosses that are in there where it's like, yeah, by the way, stuff doesn't stop. We got to fight this thing. All right, you don't got no time to go back home. We went home once. Now you got to fight this thing. You got to fight the Devimon thing. All right, well, by the way, you got to fight Nidhoggmon. It's going to destroy everything. By the way, you got to fight this because that's going to destroy everything. By the way, you get separated. Then you got to come back together after you figure out your own visual quest because that thing's going to destroy everything. And those episodes took, when they had to fight the bosses, the boss episodes, at least 2 episodes, if not 3. Because I think the Devimon thing with Dark Knightmon, that thing dragged on so long. At least 2 or 3 episodes where it's like, okay, well, the Ultimates can't beat him because now he's a Mega form. Oh, look, Metal Greymon turned into Machine Dramon, but then turned into Pseudo War Greymon, so we still got the power of hope and emotion there. And you're not fully there, because when you get to something stronger, you're going to have to get fully there. What is going to be the big thing now? I mean, you could have easily said this is the reason why everything keeps popping up, and you could have stretched this out. And I always pay attention, I always time, especially when I'm taking notes, I time how long it takes to get to the issue. Meaning, this corpse keeps walking, guys. 6 minutes. 6 minutes and 36 seconds is when all this is explained to them. So I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. And it's doing so well. But I don't know why the showrunners are so afraid to be like, we can't stretch it out. It's dude, you dealt with Kazuhamon taking over a whole town, going, all right, after I do this, I'm gonna do the whole world and get rid of everybody. That warranted at least episode and a half. You know, the original Digimon, the season 1, season 2, they would do that where it's like, all right, episode and a half, we beat it, but now we got to set up for the next thing. That could have easily been an episode and a half kind of thing. The stuff that calls the megas are episodes and a half. Even stuff they call the ultimates are kind of like episodes and a half. The department store thing with the flower that is probably going to spread and kill everything. The evil Marine Angemon is going to take over everything. Fine, I dealt with those being 1 episodes because those were actually good. Those were still good, but wow. Because even when this thing has a weakened state in another show of this franchise, it still takes a lot to beat it. And you guys did it with only 2 megas and the power of an anomaly. I'll take the anomaly part, but it's so disappointing that you put Amphimon in here. It's very disappointing that this couldn't have been. You need to show yourselves, because now here's what I'm going to expect, everybody. The moment we do get a 2-parter, you know the series is going to end. You know the series is nearing its end when we get, all right, this is split up into 2 parts. Oh no, Ghost Game has finally got Hiro to join up with him. He's gone to his ultimate form. Oh, oh man, our mega forms are able to fight that ultimate form. You fools. I've synced up completely now. Press the button and a key. Boom. Now I'm in one of my various mega forms. And now you got to figure that out. I'm already calling it. The 3-parters are going to be that. If that. And then you'll be towards the end of this first season. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is kind of disappointing. I would have liked 2 parts. Funny part is the premise and everything. The setup is genuinely frightening, genuinely intriguing. The lowest I can give this is a low 4 out of 5. Low 4 out of 5. This is not average for this series by any means. And it handles grief. It handles grief in an interesting way. I'm not going to say good. I'm not going to say bad. It handles grief in an interesting way. It shows Digimon that you've seen before. And Digimon that, if you're familiar with the franchise, you're like, oh, these things showing up isn't a good thing. Because these things mean bad news. But you didn't have to let Kirishiro get hit. Or you could have let him get hit, then he stands up and goes, we have to handle this. Let's go, Jellymon. Cool. Amphimon. Everybody is needed for this. I don't know. It's a low 4. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I just miss reoccurring villains. I don't want to consider Gulas Gamamon a reoccurring villain because essentially all dude really needs is a hug. He's the king of all the black Digimon. He just needs a hug. Stop ignoring him and tell him that he's worthy and that his darkness doesn't need to be something he fears. Just be something he can use. He can use it for justice as well, and then you're done. I don't really consider him a villain. He saved them way too many times to be a villain. I'll give you anti-hero at the most. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this, guys. Thank you for taking some time out to listen to me. I hope you appreciate the different format. Not going to say I'm going to do this all the time, but I really wanted to get down to what my issues were with this episode. It's funny. No matter how many issues I have with it, I can't give it lower than a 4. I can give it a low 4, but it's not average. It doesn't suck and it's not average. It's just, it shows the glaring weaknesses of this show. I'm almost at the point where I can compare this with Cross Wars, where Cross Wars, many amazing Digimon. You took away levels, so it's like every other anime now. Now that we get this thing with Pokemon where it's like a basic Pokemon can beat a fully evolved Pokemon with training and all this other stuff. We don't need that for Digimon. Digimon, the levels matter because we like it. It's part of the evolution of the creatures. They can always go back small. You ain't gotta be like, oh, this small thing can fight this big thing. I digress. Be good, be blessed. Wash those hands. Excuse me. Take care of yourselves. It's crazy out there. Sincerely, take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. And above all other things, remember that you are not alone. There's someone out there that cares about you. I promise you they do. If you need someone to talk to, my social medias are right in the description box. Follow me. Add me. Send me a message. I'll talk to you. I promise I will. So, guys, without further ado, thank you once again. This is Shane, and I will most definitely see you guys next time.